Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Gayle Carson. Welcome to Living Regret Free, a program that shows you how to live a better and more joyful life. As an added bonus, I invite you to listen to an introduction to my Mindset Matters program, which ties into this so well. Go to www.sobmindset.com. It's free, and I know you will enjoy it. If you'd like to contact me personally, drop me a line at gaylecarson13@gmail.com or go to my website, www.spunkyoldbroad.com, and sign up for my weekly newsletter. My guest today is Ilana Kristeva. She's a luminary and a guide inspiring leaders to shine while in service to others. Now fit, fabulous, and 50 plus, despite illness, injury, and isolation, she's living proof that neuroplasticity is not just another beautiful scientific theory. It is her reality. On a bridge that connects Western medicine and Eastern practices, she celebrates living in the one body she will ever have. Ilana cultivates compassion and laughter to manage time, energy, chronic pain, and life's ups and downs. Creator of the Tap into the Universe for Recovery book series and the Instant Gratitude collection, she motivates audiences to move energy within the body to overcome self-sabotage with seven key ingredients for vibrancy, 26 self-care vigilante affirmations, and an attitude of gratitude. Welcome, Ilana. How are you today?
Oh, thank you, Dr. Gayle. It's wonderful to be here. May I share with you something?
Of course.
I see you as the queen of communications. And I'm so honored to be here because for decades before the word transformation was a household word, you were out there. You were out there empowering people to express themselves. And I really appreciate the work you've done, and you've really paved the way for the rest of us. So thank you.
Wow. Well, thank you. My heavens, I didn't expect that. So you are, Ilana, the self-care vigilante. You've overcome many mental and physical challenges from infancy to the present. And today, you're fit, you're fabulous, you're 50 plus, despite the illness, the injury, the isolation, with everything that you've had. I mean, you've had migraine headaches, vocal cord issues, a progressive nerve disorder that puts you in a wheelchair, plus mental health and addiction issues. So how do you maintain your sense of humor throughout the day and every day?
Well, thank you for asking. That's loaded. My attitude of gratitude has saved my patooties, if I can say that on the air. Saved my butt. I really, I've learned from different experiences that reframing how I see myself and how I see my world has given me the opportunity to think differently, breathe differently, speak differently, take actions differently, make decisions on a whole new level. It's beyond the everyday, oh, yeah, let me look around and see what my options are. No, with an attitude of gratitude, I've had to dig deeply, go inside, check in with my body from head to toe, and be grateful for what's working, grateful for what I have, because focusing on what I have grows more of that vitality, that vibrancy, that higher vibrational frequency that helps me through tough times, the pain, the disappointments, shame, regret, all of that. So I challenge myself every day from morning till night. Really, there are tons of things that I can disagree with the world, right?
Oh, for
Lots
sure.
of things. But my challenge is, hey, okay, enough of that crap. I don't need to feed my body with those thoughts. So I challenge myself to transform what I perceive as awful into something awesome.
Well, it's interesting because I always say my chest looks like a road map because I've had 16 surgeries and I'm going now through my fourth case of breast cancer, so under treatment once again. And of course, it's difficult for me to move in a lot of ways because I have so much scar tissue and my skin is so thin.
Mhm.
But I still, exercise every day, a couple of hours, and I run around the country and I go here and there. And as you know, because you've met me, I just have a lot of energy and it is your thought process. So you share those thought processes of yours and your experiences in not one, but two different book series, one, the Tap into the Universe for Recovery, and the other, the Instant Gratitude Collection. What inspired you to reveal your very personal journey from what you call groaning to glowing? I love that. In your books, your speaking engagements, and your workshops.
What inspired me? Well, desperation. I really didn't want to share my personal life, my health. I really felt it was no one's business what was going on with me, my diagnoses. And I didn't think anybody would care, really. I am just one person with a huge mess, right, from head to toe. And I didn't want to bore anyone or burden anyone with my stuff. But I got to the point of serious desperation when I lost my voice. I don't know if you know this, but in 2011, I lost my voice. And last year, I lost my voice prior
And
to
what did
meeting
that
you.
come from? What did that come from, Ilana?
Well, in 2011, I was diagnosed with vocal cord dysphonia because the stomach acid, came up, eroded my esophagus, and spilled into my voice box. So, with esophageal erosion, my voice box was tremendously affected. It was swollen. When my ear, nose, throat specialist stuck this cable, yes, up my nose, and he had to like spray all kinds of stuff to clear my nasal passages because of chronic sinusitis. He finally got the camera down into my vocal cords, and I watched the video and was appalled. And he tried to get me to make certain sounds, and I could see what it looked like inside. And one night, I was completely desperate, and I was in my wheelchair, and I rolled up to the window, and I looked out, looked into the sky, and from my heart, I said, "Hey, I've learned how to live without my legs, and I've learned to reach out for help when my hands, my wrists were inflamed, and I couldn't do things for myself. But I have no clue how to live without my voice." And you, as a professional speaker, could probably understand, well, on days when our vocal cords are tired and we need to perform, what do we do? What do we do? So, in a way, this was a huge gift for me because when I desperately asked for help from the universe, from God, the feedback, the response was write 4 books. The series is called Tap into the Universe for Recovery. Not only are you to write the books, you're really supposed to narrate them. And I I was pissed because, first of all, I couldn't even ask for toilet paper or water at that point in time because I couldn't speak, or barely. I was unrecognizable. To think that I would be going into the recording studio to narrate books that I haven't written yet, I thought was ludicrous. But the universe delivered the practitioners to help me rebuild my body from the inside out. And so now I'm fulfilling my deal, my end of the bargain. And here we are.
Wow. But you also called yourself the queen of self abandonment and
Yeah.
so where did the self care vigilante come from?
Well, I have a reputation of being very rebellious. It's because it's true.
I was
And
going to say nobody could tell, right?
I have, yes, I have had a long history of doing just the opposite of what I've been told to do. And that defiance has led to lots of wreckage. I own it, completely claim my wreckage. And with the help of many people, all walks of life, from traditional Western medicine to Eastern practices, 12-step recovery, et cetera, et cetera. I slowly, this was not an overnight process. I just want to share with you and your listeners. This was not an overnight process, but I learned to embrace my inner rebel, that rebellious side of me. Embracing my inner rebel has helped me to become someone who nourishes herself from the inside out, meaning I pay attention to my internal organs. I pay attention to my blood flow. I listen to my heartbeat. I pay attention to my breath throughout the day. I pay attention to my digestive system. And how I perform externally is a reflection of how well I feel on the inside. So it's been a long process. However, helping people is so rewarding. When I am able to offer a tip or two to people and sit down with them to listen what's really been going on, not just the diagnoses they have, but their entire world for the last 18 months, then I can help them see themselves from a new pair of lenses. And then they can take actions and make decisions for themselves using their gut intuition, to move forward. And certainly I'd be happy to help you offline, happy to help you with the adhesions, the scars, scar tissues that might make it feel tight in your chest and, limit your movements, your arms, and, some release work in your spine might be helpful. But that's another subject.
That's another subject. Yeah. And you also talk about this multi-generational trauma that was going on in your family and how that helped you to get where you are now. How did that occur?
Yes, I share the story in one of my books, Birth of a Self-Care Vigilante, that my mother's side of the family has had issues with eyes, eye trauma, all different diagnoses, vision issues, health of the eyes. And what I learned through meditation and reacquainting myself with my inner parts, as well as embracing my inner rebel. Um, One of the ways multi-generational trauma has manifested in my body is, in my eyes, my vision. And I was able to connect the fact that both sides of my family, actually, uh, my both parents and their siblings grew up in war-torn nations, and they were at risk. They had to flee for their lives. They had to move from one place to another. They saw atrocities. Ooh, I just felt tingles go up my spine. They described to me some of the physical atrocities of war that they witnessed with their own eyes as children. And I made the connection between their experiences and their body's way of reacting to or protecting. So, in a way, having less clear vision protected them from the memories that were images that were burned into their brains. And of course, today we say, well, if vision is not clear, that's not a good thing. We need to take care of our eyes and everything. So we do that. But much deeper are
So,
the Yeah,
where did they grow up? I mean, where were they? What countries are you talking about?
in Asia, in China,
In China.
in
Ah,
China. So, yeah, I my first name is Greek Hebrew. My last name is Bulgarian. My maiden name is Korean, but I am genetically Chinese with a heart
okay.
of a Puerto Rican. So, so
That's
if you wonder why I'm confused, there you go. That's one of the seeds of confusion. Yeah, so in Asia, in China, and my father's side migrated into Burma and experienced a lot there too as well. Uh,
so. Were you brought up in the United States, or where were you brought up?
I was brought up in the United States. My parents actually met in New York City, so in my DNA, I'm a New Yorker, and even though I didn't grow up in New York, I eventually moved to New York and spent many years in New York and still consider myself a New Yorker, even though I'm in California now, Northern California. Very proud to be a Californian, still a New Yorker though.
Well, you also talk about laughter, and I
Mm.
know you bill yourself as a comedian as well. So, how has laughter factored into healing and prosperity and your work as a comedian?
Well, I don't know that I'd be on this planet right now if it weren't for laughter. I'll be very frank with you, very candid and transparent with you. For me, laughter is everything. One of my self care vigilante affirmations is I laugh to P point every single day. And what that requires is me looking for something funny from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. And if I'm not finding a perspective, if I'm not finding people who are funny, if I'm not finding laughter within myself, and if I'm not able to laugh at myself or my imperfections, then I'm doomed because being a perfectionist is very painful, very, very painful. And living with regrets, living with regrets is painful. So I discovered that I was pretty funny when I was in a wheelchair. One day I crashed into a wall that was standing there. This wall's been there for what, 30, since 1937. Not that I've lived in this house forever, but it's been here. And I crashed into a wall that was nice and huge and didn't hurt myself. But I burst out in laughter and realized that I really enjoyed hearing my own laughter. I really enjoyed hearing my own laughter. So with that, I signed up for an improv class. Now, mind you, I was still physically challenged tremendously, but I made a commitment to myself to sign up for a local comedy improv class. And physically, I couldn't do the comedy, but I was right there mentally. And I was laughing my butt off in that class. And eventually, I started doing stand up, sit down comedy, and then decided that I didn't want to stand up on stage to roomfuls of people who were intoxicated. So I took my comedy elsewhere, and people love hearing and learning from me about self-care tips, techniques, and being interactive with me. So I brought the comedy to my teachings, my coachings, and that's how I do it today.
That's so interesting because I remember when I was 18, I went into a club in the Boston area. I was underage. I think I'd had somebody's birth certificate or excuse me, license, and
Bless you.
I was singing, and everybody was drunk in the bar, and I thought to myself, I am not going to do this for a living, that's for sure. But I was just trying to see if I could earn some extra money while I was in school. So I can appreciate, not wanting to do comedy when you've got a bunch of intoxicated people there. That's for sure. But
Mhm.
you also, you faced all of this chronic pain, illness, addiction issues. What uh, you call them gold nuggets. What would you like to share with people who've gone through all of this? or maybe have loved ones who are going through this. What kinds of things do you share with them?
Well, I would say the number one gold nugget, and it just crossed my mind that I'm in gold country in Northern California. And so, how appropriate that you use the phrase gold nugget. One huge gold nugget I would share with everyone is that every gift of desperation, every challenge we face, every seemingly awful, awful condition we're willing to look at or we want to run away and hide from, there's a silver lining. There's something positive, and it's our job. It's my job to find the gold nuggets, not just one, but multiple. Many points to appreciate. With this energy, this positive energy, this attitude that, hey, there's got to be something beautiful coming out of this very dark space. And I'm going to find it. Yes, I'm making the decision to find it, to embrace it, to broadcast it, communicate it, share it, express it, all of it.
Well, I know you're giving our listeners a wonderful gift. You have an ebook, Instant Gratitude 365 Days of Grace, Ease, and Laughter, that you're going to be offering to our listeners. Where do they go to get that, Ilana?
Everyone can go to instantgratitudenow.com. I'll spell that out. It's INSTANT, instant, gratitude, GRATITUDE, now, NOW.com. And you can access your book there.
Well, it's wonderful. Thank you so much. And, you know, we've got about 3 minutes left. And I know you've got something next going on your horizon. What is Instant Gratitude Now all about? And tell us a little bit about Sedona.
Well, Instant Gratitude Now is my forthcoming podcast. So I would love to interview you. I'm putting you on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot right now. I would be blessed to have you on my podcast because you have been so positive for so many people. Your willingness to be visible is, boy, when I grow up, you know, I want to be just like you because I have not been willing to be visible like you. And you've been able to help so many people because of it. So instantgratitudenow.com is going to be the home of all the interviews of people who inspire me, people who've overcome tremendous challenges, could be physical, mental, spiritual, financial, and yet they are vibrant. They practice self-care. I am inviting them to share their secrets, their self-care regimens with me, with everyone in my tribe, my vibrant tribe. And so we can all make wonderful decisions, healthy decisions from a place of groundedness, from a place of plenty, because when we're of service to others, we really do have to bring our best body and our best voice forward and serve others when we feel nourished and energetic.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're almost at our end, and I want to give everybody your website, which is fieldofchoices.com. You've got a lot, listeners. You got a lot of choices there. You've got fieldofchoices.com as her website. You've got Instant Gratitude. Is it Instant Gratitude Now or instantgratitude.com for your book?
Instantgratitudenow.com.
Now, that's what I thought. Instantgratitudenow.com for her book. And, you know, I just think that you might get a lot out of going to Ilana's website and seeing what she's all about, seeing what she's been through. Get her book. It's quite a book. It's quite large. And really see how she has dealt with what's been given her in her life. So This has been fantastic. I want to thank you so much, Ilana.
Oh,
And
thank
I would
you.
be honored to be on your podcast. So just let me know when and how, and we'll do it. But
Yes,
again, thank you
thank
so
you.
much for being with us today.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Gayle.
Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. I choose my guests carefully, so if you have someone you'd like me to interview, please drop me a line at gaylecarson13@gmail.com. In the meantime, check out my intro program, Mindset Matters, at www.sobmindset.com. See you next week.